battle begins, the final battle. So looking forward to it.
I will try everything to win.
I'm gonna give it everything I got, go as fast as I can, and whatever happens, happens.
So happy to fight with Jake till the end.
I'm sure he's probably hoping it'll be wet. I'm probably hoping it'll be dry.
I bring a lot of excitement into this championship.
Talented, smart, badass rider. As far as a real championship battle, like me and Danilo are in it all the way to the end.
It would be nice to fight till the last corner, the last lap of the last race.
May the best man win.
Previously on Pressure to Rise. The 8th round at pit race proved to be a turning point in the championship. Jake Gagne left Pennsylvania with a 1-point lead over Danilo Petrucci with his 4th double-win weekend of the season.
2 rounds left, the time's flying by, but I'm excited. You know, I think it's great for the series, great for the racing to have a really tight points chase, and it's going to come down in the end.
Gagne back on top of 290 and Petrucci with that single point back.
Petrucci did everything he could to keep up with Gagne, but the defending champ was just too fast.
It was tough. I tried my best, but he's always able to do his strategy, and at the moment he's really working.
Now we're sitting here with like a couple points separating the front with me and Danilo, and you know, it's awesome racing that guy. I've said it before, but you know, watching him in GP over the years, I was always a big fan, and it's pretty cool that we're in a championship hunt. We both really want to win. We're gonna get everything we got, so I'm looking forward to an exciting championship finish.
And there goes Skoltz trying to get around the outside. Petrucci with a bit of a mistake. Matthew Skoltz, after a dramatic day of racing, able to put it on the podium.
After 7 races without a podium appearance, Matthew Skoltz got back up on the box in both races.
Back on the podium in his return to the series for Westby Racing Yamaha. Make some noise for Matthew Skoltz!
Back up on the box, it's been a while.
I'm just really happy to be back up on the box, you know, considering I haven't been there, I think, since I won in Wisconsin. I don't think I've been off the box that long since, 2020 maybe.
A good run, but it's about how much force can he put into his wrist.
Pulled away a little bit from Cam Peterson through that turn 7-8 area.
Meanwhile, Cam Peterson's 7-podium streak came to an end.
I was expecting podiums, but not to go 7 in a row and get as many as I have throughout the season, you know. To have a podium streak like that, I was pretty happy. I'm bummed it came to an end, but, you know, we've got a few more races to go, so let's get back on that streak.
1 minute.
Both Tytler cycle riders qualified well, with PJ on the front row in P3 and Barbara in P4.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was all stoked about the front row start.
Yeah.
But look over it. It really ain't that far.
Oh no, it's a huge difference. Huge difference. Totally different worlds. It's like at least 6 inches.
Barbara couldn't replicate his qualifying time consistently in the race and finished 7th in race 1 and 8th in race 2.
Hector Barbera gets out a little bit wide. Looked like Hector may have lost the front there, just a little bit tipping in.
Richie Escalante crashed out of race 1.
Oh, it's Escalante. Where's he going?
No chance. He had no chance of making that, Escalante.
And so did PJ Jacobsen.
Oh, no, someone's down.
Whose fault is it?
Oh, it's PJ.
Unfortunately, I crashed because I was over pushing. But yeah, just going into New Jersey and stuff, I know this track like really well. It's like a home track. I've been here so many times and stuff. So you know, it's kind of like that motivation you get where it's, you know, you're going into your backyard, you know. So it's kind of like, you know, nobody's gonna beat me here because I'm going into my backyard. This is my place.
Jake Lewis finished the weekend in frustration.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the last 2 rounds, we need to do better. It's been a little bit of a frustrating year. You know, I was expecting to do better. I think the team was expecting to do better, and just try to regroup and come out these last 2 rounds swinging. You know, New Jersey's a more tight and physical track, and then Barber, you know, to finish the year. So we need to perform better. I mean, 9th place is kind of embarrassing.
But it's all about this guy, Jake Gagne. 8 points the difference between him and Petrucci coming into this one, and he wanted to try to snatch back another 5 points. Onto the front straightaway he comes. He'll take the checkered flag, and now he doesn't know it, but he's awaiting the arrival of that Yamaha rider, Matthew Schultz, who's able to put himself second in between, right in the middle between Gagne and Petrucci.
I just need to clean up the first couple laps, and I think maybe I can hang on to Jake. We'll see, right?
We're Yamaha people, so the people that ride Yamahas and stuff like that, we're always cheering for them. We cheer for our own guys a little louder, of course, but at the same time, in a situation like this, Matthew did us a huge favor, right? Came and passed Danilo, put himself between him and Danilo, and here we are.
New championship points leader.
A couple of rounds to go.
Petrucci's the only Ducati rider here. He doesn't really have any allies. He's got to fight for every position he's got right now to try to keep this championship. I've seen Cam turn back up underneath people.
I think it's time now, with only 1 point separation, to start pairing the boys up, and Cam being a bit of a rear guard.
Jake Gagne looks like he got a good launch on the #1 bike. He's going to lead us in, and how about his teammate Cameron Peterson trying to go around the outside? What a great launch from 5th on the grid, Cam Peterson. So now you have a pair.
Jumped out into P2 from P5 and did a pretty good job letting Jake have a little breathing space.
So Danilo Petrucci, your championship points leader, in 3rd on the #9.
One guy fighting against 3 Yamahas.
With 2 rounds left, it's Ducati versus Yamaha for the championship.
See you in New Jersey.
MotoAmerica stays in the Northeast for the penultimate round at New Jersey Motorsports Park. There's a few new sections of asphalt, and Gagne is finding out early how to ride through them.
It's a little dirty in spots. It's bumpier.
Bumpier?
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple areas. That's what I heard too, and that's actually
okay.
A couple new bumps, but it's going good over it.
All right, but as far as dirt and all the rest of that, just a little bit, a couple places?
Yeah, but not too much on line, you know. It's not like our line is pretty good, actually, I'd say. So, all good.
PJ Jacobsen is at his home track, and the crew is starting to find grip after chasing setup all year.
So talk to me a little bit more about when it feels like it's lifting the front.
What's that?
Talk to me. Give me 1 second, I'll let you know. Probably, because we're probably going to be here for a minute, but let me verify that. So talk to me a little bit more about when you're transferring the weight to the rear when you're on the gas. Where is that and how bad is that?
So I'll start with turn 1. I go into turn 1 and I have a lot of grip from the rear, so it just goes into the corner. I don't get any slide at all.
Okay.
Right, I go into 2,
over here and where the wheelie is, I'm having a lot of grip, so it's lifting a lot.
Okay.
But every time I open the gas, it feels like the rear makes the front lift quicker than before.
Yep, which is very possible.
So that's everywhere.
Cam Peterson hits his knee on the curbing early,
You got your groin?
but grinds out the session anyway.
You want to take a sit? Need some ice or something?
Going into turn 1, I hit my knee on the curb and it almost pulled me off the bike. My groin and my knee, it didn't tear the knee slider off. The knee slider was still intact, but where the Velcro sewed into the suit ripped all of that off.
You don't need any medical, right? Just sore?
Yeah, just twisted.
Twisted?
I'll be fine.
Yeah. Just take a breather.
Came in, we spent a little bit of time messing with that, just lost a bunch of time. And
don't want to put too much force on your knee.
And then went out and I did the exact same thing in turn 3, dragged my knee almost off the bike again. So it was a rough first session.
You'll be all right by tomorrow. It's tough.
Petrucci is starting to feel the end of the season approaching fast.
The Yamaha guys, they just ride the bike. We try to always make some adjustment, try to fix the bike, try to set up better the bike, but we are not having a big step forward, never, this year.
Adesso io sento tutte le buche, cioè mi sembra la moto come se ci avessimo non lo so che cosa, ma è proprio è instabile, che non sta mai ferma, mai ferma. Sento proprio tutti i micro appallamenti, l'asfalto, proprio tutto sento.
It's a quick lap, this one, so...
Yes, it is, but we're on the gearing that you want to use, right? Like the taller?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Matthew Scholz is fighting arm pump and looks for an adjustment.
Matthew, where do you want to go with this? Where do you want to go with the span, or you just want to be able to adjust it?
I just wanted to bring it in slightly because it fell too far out, but it seems like it came in a little bit.
Okay. Can you work with that lever where it is, or do you want to?
Yeah. I mean, it's fine.
Okay. Okay. Good to go when you are. Okay.
We can't bring it in, eh?
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah, Ollie. Can we just cut the thing off and do it manually, or is it?
No, it seems to be broken up here.
No, it sees down here, but I don't know which way. I don't want to crank on it, not knowing exactly which way to bring it in. Normally you'd stick an arrow on there, but we never had it seized before, so.
Okay.
I guess you'd have to try going the opposite way.
It's fine. I'll just.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
I can't tell you which way to turn it exactly. I don't want to f it up.
Well, on the next one in, can we just cut the wire lock off and take the span adjuster off and just manually adjust it, and then we're...
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, okay.
Richie Escalante is still looking to build his confidence to turn it into positive momentum.
I'm still working on recovery 100%. The problem, I feel okay, but not training the same. So it's difficult for the race pace and the race distance to feel 100%. So now I'm working on that, and also difficult to recover the confidence. After Pittsburgh, I feel a little bit better, and I come to New Jersey with a lot of expectations to say, okay, maybe it's time to battle again close to the podium, close the gap, and still difficult working. And now it's just I want to finish this weekend and focus to the last race.
Okay, yeah, you should like this, okay? More support.
At the end of practice 1, the Tytlers BMWs were sitting second and third, showing results from testing here earlier this season.
Nice work.
Yeah, it's good. It's just a little hard to ride, you know?
In what way?
Because we have so much grip now.
Yeah.
So it's putting me in different directions.
Yep.
On the bike, around the corners where I'm struggling to muscle it, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll sit down.
Yeah. We're gonna debrief in the garage. Okay. I mean, to me, even if the bike's harder to steer, if it has more grip, that's better. Because we've been struggling with grip all year. You know what I mean? With this new setup on the thing, it seems like we found some grip finally. I would rather stay in this direction and keep working with it than to go back to what we ran at the test, you know? Because first time out this weekend, we're 6/10 quicker than the test already. You know what I mean? Even if the bike's harder to ride, it has more grip. I'm just saying I'd like to continue working with this setup and try to make it steer a little better for you than to go back to what we ran before. I think this is a better direction. Because all year we've been fighting with mid-corner grip.
Coming up next, Q1 from New Jersey. The team's added some changes after practice 1 in the morning, and qualifying 1 is the first opportunity to work through them.
Just remember, right, so switch 2, right? Just it's some small modifications from what you had this morning. If you don't like it, go to 3. That's what Cameron rode, right? It's not crazy different with what you were doing with the grip. And if you don't like it, 1 is what you had this morning.
And if you see less,
yes.
Your braking.
And your braking is the one spot here.
The process of solving one issue in setup often creates another one.
It turns in better, and it's definitely easier, it's easier to ride through that. But now, I lost grip in the front in the middle of the turn. And it's it's not, it still feels really balanced.
Right.
It's just it's not high or low. It just doesn't have the bite.
Okay.
And I don't think it's just the track, because the grip on the rear is still pretty dang good.
Okay. So
it just doesn't have that.
You lost that.
Yeah, I know I can't carry quite the speed through the center like I would with the other one and really trust the front end.
Okay. So it takes some getting used to. We tried some things on Friday which didn't work for either guy, but we learned some stuff. It may not have been the fastest lap, but we knew we had the pace because the guys were really, really feeling good about the bikes. So, especially Cameron.
Turned better, got through there better, but it felt like, to me, it was more lively. I got a few more tank slappers even coming out of the last corner.
I just lost a little front grip. I can't carry quite the speed and push the front tire as hard.
A little more load on it than before, a little bit. Well, let's see if we can make some adjustments and carry the session through.
Yeah.
Hey Jake, just have him put a fresh front on when you go do your run.
Yeah, I'll do one quick little run, put some preload in.
Yeah, just make sure you got some extra grip for the front.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Però il tempo comunque non viene, perché appena provo a fare un po' di più la moto mi manda per terra. Cioè è talmente rigida, prendo le buche che...
Whoa, that's sketchy, especially with green grass. Making that turn, smooth throttle back on. At this point, you're in salvation mode. And you're like, okay, I'm not going to make this turn. I got to send her straight up or I'm going down. That's in bike preservation.
Yeah. Once you get to a certain point, you know you're not going to make it. You see all that runoff room out there. It's just better to be safe.
Comunque il fatto è che dietro non assorbe per niente le buche, né il davanti né il dietro. Cala il grip molto. Giro per giro va a calare.
Jacobsen is looking like he has good race pace, consistently putting in fast laps.
PJ Jacobsen is 66. He was second quickest this morning, and right now he is the fastest. It's a negative down there. That means he's going faster than Jake Gagne's time after 2 of the 4 sectors.
Bike looks good.
Yeah.
Doesn't not
in control, not seeing any chatter, nothing. A little wiggle there. That just means he's putting the power down. A little bit on that switchback, but he still looks fast through 3 sectors. He's a quarter of a second faster than Jake Gagne. With 21 minutes still left in there, I mean, it's tire change time. He did, I guess, and he found 3/10 faster than Jake Gagne had.
I just feel really good here, and we had we tested here as well, and it was like over 100 degrees. So I feel like we found some stuff in testing, even though the conditions are completely different now. So I know we would have made a step like we did today versus testing the lap times we did then. So yeah, it was good. I was just a bit disappointed that I was P2 in the first session because I wanted to be P1 as well, But yeah, it came down really close at the end there, and I was having some problems with my lap timer, so I was kind of like disappointed and didn't really know where things were at.
That lap timer is so messed up. When you spin, it tells you you're not going faster.
Really?
Yeah.
So for now, Tom, wrap it, but don't change it quite yet.
Westby and Scholes are just over a full second off the fastest time of the session, but are confidently working through it.
We've got one more switch position, more aggressive. Let's do that. And we'll take one, maybe one less on the TC.
Okay.
And did you put the turn 1 torque change in? Let's do that. Okay. So there was more EB. So it might have been that you were pushing a bit more, but let's go up again on the EB with the new tyre.
We came in and we were just trying a different gearing option. And it just wasn't as good as what we'd hoped for. It was better in certain areas, and then other areas we were losing. So keep pushing on, or you can just cut your losses, go back to what we know, and then work on the bike from there.
We're going to put more torque in on the exit of 1. Yeah. That's going in now. Okay, and we're going to go down 1 on the TC.
For sure, Friday, results-wise, wasn't great, but we knew we had a good bike for the race. But we were just missing the 1-2 lap pace. But it wasn't really panic stations. We knew we could get there, but yeah, we also knew we had some work to do.
The change that made mechanically to the front, do you feel that was? Can you separate that from the EB or not? It just got blurry. Okay, let's just leave it like it is and see what it's like. Let's do. You know what? Hey guys. Let's go in with the tyres, and then because it's going to take him a little while to get going, Then we get a time. Okay, let's go with the tyres. No massive panic, but let's get those in.
Escalante is back in 11th with his teammate in 8th.
Right now, difficult weekend. So for sure in the race, I need to finish in front of the super stock bikes. Get this weekend very fast, and also I try to stay close to the top 5, like close to Barbera. To Gilliam, I don't know, maybe my teammate Jake Lewis. So that's my plan.
PJ Jacobsen takes provisional pole and gives the team some needed confidence going into day 2.
Oddly enough, we thought we had a pretty good bike when we left our last race. Seemed pretty competitive, lap times were pretty good, qualified pretty well. So we decided to start with something totally different. So we got some new parts on the bike to try to generate some more grip on the back of the bike, which is kind of a typical problem you're looking for with a superbike. They all tend to make so much power, you're always looking for more grip. And came up with some ideas on the setup that we started with this weekend. Got a couple new parts from Alpha to allow us to change some of the geometry on the bike a bit. And from the get-go, we had a ginormous improvement in grip on the back of the bike. The bike was noticeably different for PJ to ride. In some aspects it was easier, some aspects it was harder. The bike had so much more grip, it was harder to steer, harder to do transitions and things like that, but we were immediately faster with it.
The job's not done, and tomorrow morning is where pole position comes, and Jake and everyone else will be super fast, so we just got to be ready.
Qualifying 2 and race 1 next. Saturday morning in New Jersey is ready for race day as the battle between Gagne and Petrucci continues.
We were talking about making sure we always say that the pressure to rise right now is just killing me. I just don't know what to do with so much pressure.
7 minutes to go, we go. 7 minutes, we'll go. We're gonna go out at 7 minutes remaining.
All right.
Attack Yamaha sticks to the plan of rolling out both riders together in Q2.
The idea was to give Cameron a little pull to get him up in there and be a bit of a disruptor for the beginning of the race. So that worked out just as planned, but unfortunately Jake didn't quite have a good feeling about the bike when he went out and did it, and so Cameron was just about almost rear-ending him everywhere. I think Cameron could have got on pole if Jake wasn't in front of him, let's say.
He went to the top by the slimmest of margins.
Peterson ends up going 1,000th of a second faster than Gagne.
He probably could have pushed it in that turn, but he knew that would screw up his teammate.
Yeah, he definitely would. That would have been a way to never be able to get towed again.
Petrucci is out on his Q tire.
All right, so this is coming down the front straightaway. Don't worry about this lap. It may happen, but he's going to have to find a quarter of a second. Let's see what the differential was on his first flying lap. This is the one that counts. It's down to the end.
It's his last lap. Oh, and he makes a mistake.
He missed it. He blew the turn. Same thing again. He lifted up that rear wheel. He knows it. He's frustrated. He's not going to be any better than 5th. Look at who's in underneath that pole position. Could it be a pole for the Tyler's BMW of P.J. Jacobson?
There you go. Stay in it. Come on, kid.
He's got a right-hand turn. He's doing it for the hometown fans. Tyler Cycles BMW. Does he have the drive down the front straightaway? He does it by 10,000ths of a second. P.J. Jacobson takes pole in Medallia Superbike.
Woo! Oh yeah! Come on, give me some sugar. All right, come on, boys. Great job. Great job. Nice. Nice. Yes. Woo! Yep, just make sure he should have got the checkers that time by, so he'll be coming down pit lane. Just make sure it's sitting on the wall so he can see it as he's coming down pit lane. Good job, man. Ah! Give me another hug. That deserves another hug. Damn! Right? Woo!
PJ beats his best qualifying position of 3rd at the last round with his first ever pole position and the first pole position in the history of AMA racing for BMW.
Oh! Pole, dude. Pole. Great job. Good job, man. Awesome. Hey, history for BMW. Yeah, real deal. First time BMW's ever had a pole in Superbike. Qualifying 1, we were P1. Qualifying 2, we managed to sneak in P1 again, and yeah, it's our first pole for the BMW, so that was pretty exciting. It was a great start to the day.
We're moving in the right direction for fast laps and qualifying and stuff like that. I think we can always be near the front row. But now it's just putting the races together to to be at the front more and to eventually battle with, Jake and try to put the races together.
The grid ends up with Cam Peterson and Jake Gagne filling out the first row, with Petrucci, Scholz, and Barbara filling out the second.
Medallia Superbike Race 1. Here we go. And a good launch from our pole sitter, P.J. Jacobson, on the right side of your screen, the 66. But how about Cameron Peterson, the 45? He's going to lead us into turn 1, and Petrucci gets a good launch, but he couldn't quite sneak up for 3rd, so he's going to have to settle for 5th.
Well, Scholz started from that 2nd row as well, and he was able to beat Petrucci down there, so we're going to have Peterson leading the way over Gagne.
Cam hole-shotted on that first start right away, and that was cool. I was able to sneak up underneath him in the long carousel. I think I kind of surprised him.
Up the inside, and almost contact as Camp has a look over to see where Gagne. So Gagne forced the issue on that one. Wow. There wasn't a lot of room for Gagne to pass.
Cam knows he's my teammate, man. We're buddies, but we're gonna race each other hard. We got a job to do, and so it was good. And then right after that, the red flag threw.
Barbara suffers a mechanical issue on lap 3.
Is a lock nut for the pushrod, and normally you think things would unscrew themselves and come loose, but for some reason this thing screwed itself in, got tighter, and wouldn't let the rear brake release. So it, as he was riding, it was building up heat inside and eventually, stopped the rear wheel.
You have 4 minutes till the pit lane opens. Yep. Yep, we're going to try to replace the master cylinder.
We had another rear master cylinder assembly all ready to go, and you know, we use these quick disconnects.
You have 3 minutes.
You're fine, you got time.
So it'll be the original grid from before. 17 laps remaining.
Okay.
Okay?
We were able to swap it out really quickly and make the restart.
We're rolling.
Jacobsen didn't get a good start, but Petrucci benefited from the red flag, slotting himself into third.
So there goes Jake Gagne. He'll take over lead. But how about Petrucci? What a great launch from the Italian. Slots himself into third. He was in fifth spot when the red flag came out. So Petrucci with a better shot at it this time, especially if he can hold on to it. And how about Matthew Scholz on the Westby Racing motorcycle? He gets ahead of PJ Jacobsen as well.
The first 3 or 4 laps that most of the guys could do low 20s, which I wasn't able to do, but I think from lap 5 onward I had a really good pace and I was able to kind of run up front. So I think that the red flag helped me slightly, that I was able to kind of take those first laps out of everyone's tires.
Matthew Scholz is going to pass for third spot.
Yeah.
Good eye, Jason.
He got through there. I'm not exactly sure where that happened. It could have been coming up the hill or going into turn 7, but the 11 has made his way past the number 9 of Danilo Petrucci as well.
Gagne gets back out front once again, while Peterson and Scholz try to minimize the gap as they battle for second.
I love racing against Matty and Jake. I think everybody knows that we're such good friends, and when we're out there battling on the track, it's a good time.
Oh, Matthew just had a big moment there, and he's going to run a little bit wide, and he's going to allow Peterson back through. Don't know if that was a misgear or what kind of happened there, but it looked like the bike kind of jerked underneath him a little.
Escalante, who qualified 12th, had made his way up to 8th when he retired from the race due to bike troubles. On lap 12, Petrucci overtakes Jacobsen for 4th.
Oh, so there goes Petrucci. Gets it done in that classic Danilo Petrucci style.
Really surprised to see that I was not really capable to follow the other guys. Just after the second part of the race, at least I was able to pass PJ.
Here goes Jake Gagne. He comes across the stripe, will take victory, and the battle for second place is going to be won by Cameron Peterson, who holds off Matthew Scholz. So it's going to be a 1-2 finish for the fresh and lean progressive Yamaha team.
Man, and Petrucci just barely holds off PJ Jacobsen. So really good to see PJ be able to go that whole race distance there, keep that tire underneath him, but man, it's a Yamaha sweep.
The Yamahas did it again, 1, 2, 3. We made Richard buy dinner for the crew again, which is pretty cool.
It was the closest race for that first part that I've had all year, really, I think. So they put the pressure on, they kept the pressure on, but I was able to kind of find my rhythm after that 6 or 7 laps in and kind of smooth myself out. And once the tires started wearing out, I kind of started feeling better and was just able to inch away from those guys. And yeah, good day for Yamaha. 1, 2, 3 on the podium is really cool. I feel like it's been a while since we've had that. And
The weather forecast is not looking promising for race 2 and could be a major factor in the championship fight. Next. While the conditions look dry for morning warm-up, the threat of rain is on the horizon for the afternoon race, and teams will have to do their best to find a wet setup in the dry.
With all those sprinkles, I was just easing around, you know? Like, I can't say if it was better or worse, really.
So,
You know?
what would you pick for the race then? Probably go back with the other one, because you know it, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
With rain moving into the area and a drizzle starting to fall, a 7-minute session is added before race 2, giving the riders a chance to assess the wet conditions.
Dry tires? How's the track?
It's slippery.
The fact that we were getting a couple different sets of information from the radar and from just kind of what you're feeling and trying to get information from the riders about, well, what's the track doing, how far along, how dry. And it's such a It's such a crapshoot.
The track isn't completely wet, which makes the decision for slicks or rain tires not easy.
Rain's coming, it's a matter of when.
Possiamo mettere solo le gomme da asciutto. No, facciamo 5-6 giri con quelle gomme lì qui e poi è tutto finito. Non lo so, se comincia a piovere abbiamo sbagliato, se non piove più ci abbiamo preso. Non so cosa dirti.
2 minutes.
It's disappointing. We feel like missed an opportunity. I don't think we've ever missed a pit lane exit before, but it's just right in between conditions.
Hey guys, we're going to miss the pit lane. We're going to miss the pit lane, so, okay.
I literally did a single flying lap and the rear rain tire was smoked, you know, and it looked like it wasn't going to kind of rain some more, so we ended up thinking about putting slicks on. Put the slicks on, and then, you know, a minute before pit lane opened, it started pouring down, and Cam ended up riding past us to exit pit lane, and we looked and saw that he had wets on. So we're instantly like, man, we kind of messed this one up a little bit.
Some riders missed the time window to exit pit lane, forcing them to start from the back of the grid. All riders ended up on rain tires.
Revs are up. Here we go. Medallia Superbike race number 2, scheduled for 15 laps. Now 14 laps, and there goes Petrucci up the inside.
Petrucci gets a great start and immediately takes the lead in the wet conditions. But Cameron Peterson went with him to the front. PJ Jacobsen dropped into 3rd from pole position.
I got a good start and felt pretty good and everything, and then fortunately it just went all wrong for me in the race.
PJ Jacobsen has tossed it away between turns 1 and 2.
Wow, and the motorcycle just missed him.
I was there and thought the race was going to be a good race for me, you know, for sure, a podium. Unfortunately, I just got sucked into the curb at a 1. I just touched the white line just that little bit, and it completely folded the front on me when I was like straight up and down. So it was terrible, you know.
On lap 7, Scholz catches and passes Gagne, charging ahead toward Peterson.
The pass that he'll make, hopefully, Greg, I know, Matthew, it'll be a clean one. There'll be no risk involved with that. And you can see again as he comes out of that turn 5 area, he wants to go to the front, does Matthew. He just wants to get Gagne nice and clean and smooth, and then try to get to the front.
There goes Scholz. He tips it on by Gagne. Gagne does the right thing. Don't want to risk it all.
Managed to kind of catch up to Jake. I think at roughly the halfway point. Jake knows he can't crash, you know what I mean? So he was obviously riding a little bit tentative there, and it definitely helps when somebody passes you and has a little bit more pace. You know, so I was kind of hoping Jake could tag on to me, but obviously I think we lost too much time to Danilo early on.
On lap 9, Peterson has a moment and comes up and out of the seat, allowing Scholz to get by.
Oh, Peterson gets really shot out of the seat there. Let's see if Matthew's going to go past him up that hill.
All the while, Danilo Petrucci has an 8.4-second lead.
With 2 laps to go, Peterson loses the rear, crashing out of 2nd.
Wow. Oh, there goes Cam.
Peterson.
Just lost the rear end of the motorcycle, a little bit too much throttle.
I was able to pick it up and was able to bring it home in P5, which is key for the championship. You know, I still want to get 3rd in the championship, and Matty's not that far behind me, so my left handlebar snapped off, so I rode around the last 2 laps with one handlebar.
Petrucci takes the victory with Scholz in 2nd and Gagne in 3rd. Barbara comes across the line in 4th. Peterson picks up his bike and manages to finish in 5th with a broken handlebar.
I like to ride under the rain, and it has always been one of my strongest points on my riding style. Everything is so slower, so smooth, so calm, and I like a lot to ride the bike under the rain.
I knew Danilo had some serious pace right away, and so I knew my first priority was just bring this thing home, you know, get some points. If I threw it away today, it would make Barbara a lot more difficult.
We've known that Danilo is really good in the wet. Very, very good. I mean, you don't beat MotoGP riders and run at the front in the wet and not have some pretty serious skills.
The series heads south to Alabama for the final round of the season at Barber Motorsports Park, where a champion will be crowned.
Today I did the Jake, and the other, I don't know, 17, 18 races, I just seen his back of the suite for a pair of laps, and then there was not any battle between me and him. And if I want to continue this year, at least next year, at least I want to fight with him, because he has been faster. It's not my opinion. It's a fact.
With both Gagne and Petrucci securing 1 victory each in New Jersey, there are just 4 points separating them. But there are still 2 more races to clinch the championship. While Gagne maintains his lead, Petrucci won't make it easy.
Win or lose, it's no lack of effort, you know. And I got the best crew I could possibly have behind me. I got the best bike I could possibly want behind me, and so hopefully we can get this championship dialed in. And for sure, if we get it done, it'll be the sweetest one I've ever had yet. You know, like last year was awesome winning all those races, but as far as a real championship battle, like me and Danilo are in it all the way to the end.
To see how well we've responded to adversity and how well Jake has risen to the occasion when it's needed to, when he's had a moment, you know, after Brainerd, he came back and, you know, absolutely crushed it at Pittsburgh. So, I mean, you know, at this stage of the game, it's just finish in front. Win the races, the points take care of themselves.
It's kind of just come downhill for me the whole entire weekend after getting pole, you know. It was like Friday, Saturday morning, everything was so good, everything's, you know, going well, everyone's happy and stuff, and then just a disappointment sets in after that, like getting 5th and then getting into Sunday with a crash, a DNF. So yeah, it's kind of a hard pill to swallow after the weekend's gone so well and then you walk away with it so low. It's but that's motorcycle racing, so that's the feelings and emotions you get from it.
Gagne leaves the track with 331 points, but Petrucci's victory in the rain keeps his title hope alive with 327 points. Cameron Peterson is 3rd in the standings, but he is 59 points back from his teammate and mathematically out of the fight with only 50 points left to be won.
There's a championship on the line, and at the end of the day, I'm going to have to be a team player. You know, there's a bigger picture in mind, so we'll see how it plays, but I love Alabama. I'm counting down the seconds till we get to spin some laps around there. I can't wait.
Yeah, Cameron said, I really hope Jake wraps it up in race 1 because I really want to show everyone what's up in race 2. So get him a little uncuffed, but we'll see how it goes at Barber. I mean, if it rains, we'll have to work really hard because obviously the Ducati and Danilo are really, really fast in the wet. And so hopefully it'll stay dry. And even if they bring the rain, I think we learned something from this weekend, from today's race. So we'll bring something a little better for next time.
I think it's pretty obvious from Pittsburgh we made quite a big jump with the bike setup. So I just fingers crossed we have a good one, and hopefully it is dry, you know, because I think the dry is the conditions that racing should be done at, you know. So obviously if it's wet we do race, but you know, I think that hopefully things dry and it works out a little bit easier for everyone riding.
The battle is on for Jake Gagne and Danilo Petrucci, and it all comes down to the last round of the season. Can Gagne hold on to his #1 plate, or will a new champion rise?